Human body, skeletal system and muscles. We know that the human body is made up of many different organ systems working together to keep us healthy and active. One of the most important systems is the skeletal system. Our body works like a machine. Just as a machine needs both a strong frame and parts that can move, our body relies on our skeleton for support and on our muscles for movement. Our bones provide structure and protection to the body, while our muscles help move these bones, allowing us to perform everyday activities like running, jumping, lifting objects, and even talking and smiling. In this chapter, we will learn how the skeletal system and muscular system work together to keep our body strong and help us move. Bones. Bones are the most basic parts of the skeletal system. Bones make up about 14% of our body's total weight. They have to be strong enough to support the body, yet light enough to let us move easily. They form a framework called the skeleton, which gives shape and support to our body. When we are born, our skeleton has around 300 bones. As we grow, many of these bones fuse together, and by adulthood, we are left with only 206 bones. The bones in the palm, foot and toe are small, whereas the bones in the legs and arms are long. The bones in the ribs are curved, while the bones in the head are flat. Do you know, the smallest bone in our body is the stapes, located in the middle ear. Structure of a bone. Bones are made up of a special kind of tissues, which are further made stronger with the help of calcium, phosphate and fibrous substance to give them rigidity. Bones are supplied with blood and nerves which help them grow and repair themselves. A bone has an outer layer called the cortical, compact bone. It is hard, smooth and solid. The inner layer is called the spongy bone. This layer is porous and has space for blood vessels. It makes the bones slightly flexible. Spongy bones in the long bones of the body, legs and arms contain a soft, jelly-like fatty material called bone marrow. The red blood cells of the body are produced in the bone marrow. Skeletal system. The skeletal system is a framework made up of bones which gives our body its shape and support. It protects the soft and delicate internal organs of the body. The human skeleton consists of the following: skull, rib cage, backbone, limbs, forelimbs and hind limbs. Girdles, pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle. Skull. The skull protects the brain. It is made up of 22 bones. The cranium is a part of the skull that protects the brain. It is made of 8 flat bones which are joined together. The other 14 bones form the frame of our face. The upper jaw is fixed, but the lower jaw is movable and helps us eat and speak. The jaw bones bear teeth, although teeth are not bones. There are holes in the bones of the face through which nerves from the sense organs like the eyes, nose and ears pass. In the skull, there are 2 holes for the eyes and 1 hole for the nose. The front part of the nose lacks bone. It is made of a soft material called cartilage, a strong elastic tissue that is very flexible. That is why we can bend the tip of our nose. The cartilage is also present in the ears and in between the ribs. Rib cage. The ribs are narrow curved bones. There are 12 pairs of ribs, 24 ribs, which are connected to the sternum in the front and to the backbone, vertebral column, at the back. Except for the last 2 ribs. These ribs, 12 on each side, form a cage called the rib cage. First 7 pairs of ribs are called true ribs. The 8th, 9th and 10th pairs of ribs are called false ribs. Last 2 pairs, 11th and 12th of ribs, are not connected to the sternum and are therefore called floating ribs. The rib cage protects the heart and the lungs. It also helps the lungs expand by allowing the chest to expand during respiration. Backbone. The backbone is also known as vertebral column or spine. The skull is attached to the backbone at its base. We twist and turn our body with the help of our backbone. Its unique S-shaped structure helps prevent shocks and jerks to our head when we walk or run. The backbone forms the main axis of the body, but it is not made up of a single long bone. It consists of a series of 33 small bones called vertebrae. The vertebral column protects the spinal cord, which is a bundle of nerves that extends downwards from the brain to the lower back end of the backbone. Limbs. Our skeletal system has two pairs of limbs, forelimbs, arms, and hind limbs, legs. Forelimbs. The forelimbs or the upper limbs have two parts, the upper arms and the lower arms. The upper arm has only one long bone called the humerus. The lower arm has two bones called the radius and ulna, as well as the wrist bone and the smaller bones of the fingers. The human forelimb contains a total of 30 bones, one humerus, one radius, one ulna, and 27 small bones in the hand and wrist. The upper arm joins the lower arm at the elbow. Hind limbs. The hind limbs or the lower limbs have two parts, the upper leg and the lower leg. The upper leg is made up of a strong long bone called the femur or thigh bone. It is the longest bone in the body and it bears the maximum weight of our body. The lower leg has two bones called the tibia and fibula, as well as the ankle bone and the smaller bones of the toes. The human hind limb also contains a total of 30 bones, one femur, one tibia, one fibula, and 27 small bones in the ankle and foot. The upper and lower leg meet at the knee. Girdles. The girdles are the bones that help connect our arms and legs to our spine. There are two types of girdles, the pectoral girdle and the pelvic girdle. Pectoral girdle. This connects our arms to our body. It is also known as shoulder girdle. It is made up of two shoulder blades called scapulas and two collarbones called clavicles. Pelvic girdle. This connects our legs to the body. It is also known as hip girdle. It is made up of two hip bones. Do you know? The hyoid bone in our throat is the only bone that does not connect to any other bone. It helps us swallow and speak. Functions of skeletal system. Shape. The skeleton gives shape to the body. As we grow from childhood to adulthood, the shape of our body changes because the bones grow and develop. Support. It provides support to the entire body. The strong bones of the spine, pelvis, and legs enable people to stand upright, supporting the weight of the entire body. Movement. The skeletal bones are held together by ligaments, and tendons attach the muscles to the bones of the skeleton. They work together to allow the body to move. Protection. The skeleton protects the internal organs from damage by surrounding them with bones. For example, the skull protects the brain, the lungs, and the heart are protected by the rib cage, and the spinal cord is enclosed within the vertebral column. Blood cell production. The bone marrow is the site where the formation of blood cells take place. Joints. Joints are the points where two or more bones meet. They hold the bones together and help us move easily. Without joints, we will not be able to bend, walk, or even do simple tasks. Bones at the joints are held together by a strong tissue called ligament. The ends of bones at joints are covered with a soft tissue called cartilage. It helps the bones move smoothly and prevents them from rubbing against each other. Our body has several joints. Joints can be categorized into two types, immovable joints and movable joints. Do you know, the knee joint is one of the largest joints in our body and it helps us run, jump and kick. Immovable joints. These joints cannot be moved and are called fixed joints. They are found in the skull. In this type of joint, bones are joined with one another in such a way that no movement is possible. Movable joints. These joints allow different types of movements. This movement happens due to the presence of synovial fluid around the joints. Thus, all movable joints that contain synovial fluid are known as synovial joints. There are different types of movable joints in our body. Ball and socket joint, pivot joint, hinge joint, and gliding joint. Let us study about them in detail. Ball and socket joints. These joints allow movement in all directions. They are present in hip and shoulder joints. In this type of joint, the ball-shaped end of one bone fits into cup-shaped socket of another bone, allowing it to rotate freely. Pivot joints. These joints are found in the neck between the first two vertebrae of the backbone. They allow the neck to rotate from side to side. The rotation of the skull is possible because of pivot joint. This joint is also found between radius and ulna that help in rotating the forearm. Hinge joints. These joints work like the hinges in a door. They allow the bones to move in only one direction. The elbows, knees, fingers and toes have hinge joints. Gliding joints. These joints allow movement of the bones in wrists and ankles by gliding against each other. This joint is also present between the vertebrae of the spine, allowing our body to bend forward, backward and sideways. Muscles. Bones, joints and muscles work together for movement. Some muscles are attached to the bones by strong fibers called tendons. These muscles pull the bones and help in movement. Muscles that are not attached to the bones perform functions such as pushing food through the alimentary canal, pumping the blood, etc. Our body contains more than 600 muscles. Muscles make up almost half of our body's weight and help us move, stay strong and do daily activities. Working of muscles. When muscles contract or shorten, they pull on the tendons, which further pull on the bones and cause our limbs to move. Most muscles are arranged in opposite directions and they work in pairs. One set of muscles contracts or pulls the body parts in one direction while the other set remains relaxed. This produces movements. For example, when we raise our arm, a pair of muscles, the biceps at the front, contract while triceps at the back relax, allowing the arm to bend. Types of muscles. Muscles are mainly of three types: skeletal muscles, smooth muscles and cardiac muscles. Skeletal muscles. The muscles that are attached to the bones of the skeleton are called skeletal muscles. These muscles have bands all over them, due to which they are also called striated muscles. We can control their movement at our will, hence they are called voluntary muscles. Muscles of our hands, legs and face are examples of voluntary muscles. We can dance or sit, smile or frown due to these muscles. Smooth muscles. These muscles are found in the walls of organs like the stomach, intestines, lungs and blood vessels. They work automatically, meaning we cannot control them. Thus, these muscles are called involuntary muscles. For example, the muscles of the stomach are not under our control. They are controlled by the brain and the spinal cord. These muscles are smooth and called non-striated muscles because they do not have any bands or stripes. Cardiac muscles. These muscles are found only in the heart. They are branched and striated. They work automatically, which means they are involuntary muscles. These muscles are very strong and work continuously throughout our life. Functions of muscles. Movement. Muscles help our body move. They allow us to walk, run, jump and lift things. Protection. They protect our bones and delicate organs inside the body. Blood circulation. Cardiac muscles help the heart pump blood. Breathing and digestion. They help us breathe and move food through our digestive system. Shape and strength. They give shape to our body and make it strong. Key words. Skeleton. Framework of bones. Bone. Hard structure beneath the skin. Bone marrow. Soft jelly-like fatty material inside bones. Skull. Bone structure which protects the brain. Cartilage. Strong, elastic tissue which is very flexible. Floating ribs. The last two pairs of ribs. Vertebral column. Backbone or spine. Limbs. Arms and legs. Joints. Points where two or more bones meet. Tendons. Strong fibers that joint muscles to bones and help us move. Let's recall. Human body, skeletal system and muscles. Bones, skeletal systems. Joints, muscular system. Structure of bone. cortical bone, spongy bone, bone marrow, skull, rib cage, backbone, limbs, girdles. Functions of the skeletal system: shape, support, movement, protection, blood cell production. Immovable joints: skull, movable joints, ball and socket joints, pivot joints, hinge joints, gliding joints. Working of muscles: types of muscles: skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, cardiac muscles. Functions of the muscular system: movement, protection, blood circulation, breathing and digestion, shape and strength.